Hey guys, it's Pause Trading here, and today I'm going to be explaining one of the strategies I use in my trading now, which is basically a swing strategy. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of explain how I got this type of chart, and afterwards I'm going to go into the strategy I use and how I think the best way to trade this is. So to get this strategy, the first thing you have to do, by the way, right now I'm in playback mode, so that's why it looks like this. The first thing you got to do is, well, I'm going to make a new chart and put in the S&P 500 futures. I haven't checked if this strategy works for any other futures market like the NASDAQ or anything else. So I'm just going to do what I know. I don't know if it works on the 2000 tick, etc. I just use the 1000. So I'm going to put in the 1000 tick and I'm just going to make the chart. By the way, this week is from the 10th of May 10 to May 14. And this week is incredibly volatile, so don't expect the same type of results every week. But if you do check every other week and you use the strategy that I'm going to explain, it should be profitable every single week this entire year. Also, if you guys want any help with the strategy, please email me. I have my email in the about section of the YouTube channel. I can kind of help you guys with anything, or just comment. I can check the comments too if you guys want. And now I'm just going to get into the chart. So first thing I always do is make this local so I can check the price. And then next, I'm just going to add the indicator that I use. It's built into NinjaTrader 8, so you guys don't have to download anything. All you do is move down to the swing. It's called the swing indicator. So if you guys come all the way down here, you guys should see it. It's built into NinjaTrader 8. I use the 5 strength. I haven't tested if it works for the 10 strength or anything. I just use the 5, the default one. So that's how you guys get to here, right? And now this should look the same as my other chart. Should look the same if you guys want to check. You guys see the beginnings look the same. So I'm just going to come back here because I marked where the trades are on here earlier today, because it's a long process finding each trade. So I just want to go through good examples, and then I'll find some examples that don't work and explain why you don't take those trades. So right now I'm going to explain the basic concept of the strategy. So I'm just going to go to one of the winning trades I marked and explain the concept. So here's one winning trade. Basically here at this blue line, you're supposed to short the market, and you can see we made a very strong move down afterwards. Basically, what you're looking for are, you guys can see there's a circle. So we want to have at least one circle of 3 different tops. So one circle. So here we have one circle, here we have one circle, and here we have one circle. And these are 3 different tops. And we want all 3 of these tops to be on one bottom. So throughout this bottom, you want at least one circle on each top of 3, but only one bottom. So if that happens, that means we're hitting multiple support resistance lines while only having, we're hitting multiple resistance lines on the top while having only one support line on the bottom. So we're just expecting it to break because we have way more hits on top than we do on bottom. So we're just expecting it to break down, which is exactly what it does here. You can see if you had a run around here, you could have made a lot of money. But yeah, that's the basic concept of it. We just want 3 tops with only one bottom. That's just the basic concept. However, if you just use the basic concept, you will not be profitable. This strategy is not good if you just use the basic concept. So I'm going to be telling you guys the other rules I have that are what make this strategy incredibly good. So the first rule, and the most important rule, is from the second. So in this example, we're shorting the market, so we have 3 tops and only one bottom. So in this example, what we would look for is for the second top. So this is the second top, the bottom of the second top end candle, so the end of the filled candle. So in this example, it would be 4111.75. So in this example, what we'd be looking for is the bottom of the second top of the filled candle, not the stick end, the filled candle, to the top of the third top. So here we have the bottom of the second top to the top of the third top. So the top of the third top, filled candle. Remember, always using filled candles for this. You don't use a stick. So that's 4117.5. The difference between the top of the third top filled candle and the bottom of the second top filled candle has to be more than $5. It has to be more than $5. So from 4111.75 to 4117.5, you guys know that's more than $5. So that would pass that test. So that's the first requirement outside of the concept for us to take the trade. The next requirement is from the first top. So this kind of requirement is an either or. So there's like three different, if only one of these requirements are filled, then you can take the trade. So the first either or requirement is that the difference between the third top, or the stick of the third top, and the first top has to be less than $3. So here that fills that requirement, which means that we don't care about any of the rest of the the rest of the two rules I'm about to state. Because as long as one of the three rules that I'm stating now are filled, then the rest of them don't matter. The $5 rule that I just said from 4111.75 to 4117.5, that has to be filled no matter what. So no matter what, there has to be a $5 difference. But for these three rules that I'm stating right now, of the top differences, the difference between the stick tops, those only one of the three have to be filled for us to enter a trade. So here we fill the rule of from the first top, including stick. So from the circles, from the first top of the circles to the third top of the circles, there has to be less than $3 difference. So here we fill that. Another way is from the second top to the third top, there has to be less than $3. So here we don't fill that, right? 415, 14. Yeah, here we don't fill that, but that does not matter because we already filled this requirement of it being less than $3. So we would still enter this trade. And the last potential rule that you could use is the difference between the third top and the second top is less than the difference between the second top and the first top. But it has to be, like for tops, it has to be in an increasing manner. So in this example, what we look for here, it would be 415, 418. This would be -3, which means that we would have to be looking for the third top would have to be around, it has to be continuously going down, or here it has to continuously be going up. It can't be going in opposite manners like here. So here, no matter what, you can't use the rule I just stated. So if the difference between the first top and the second top is in a decreasing manner, but the difference between the second top and the third top is in an increasing manner, then you can't use the rule. It has to be the difference between the third top and the second top has to be less than the difference between the first top and the second top. So like I said, there's three requirements. First requirement, the difference between the circles, the first circle and the third circle has to be less than 3. If that happens, you can take a trade. And or the requirement is between the second top and the third top, so the second circle and the third circle, it has to be less than 3. So if that happens, you can also take a trade, either this one or the one I just stated. If one of those happen, you can take a trade. And the last one is the difference between the first top and the second top is less than the difference between the second top and the third top. So if these happens, you can take one. Only one of the 3 requirements I just stated has to be met for us to enter a trade. So here here we meet the requirement of the first top and the third top are less than $3, the difference between them. So we can enter a trade here. And the place where you take the trade is just from the bottom stick of the second bottom, the low of that. So basically, you would enter a trade when price breaks below the second bottom, the stick bottom. So here you can see price. This is where the second bottom of the top is. Here's the second top, and the bottom of the second top is 411.5. That's the stick end. So we just place our order at 0.25 below that. So we would have entered at 4111.25. We have a 5.25 stop loss and a 5 take profit, so 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. And here you can see we blew that out. And if you guys want to add a runner, you guys can. It wouldn't really affect anything. So if you guys want to do that, you guys can. I just don't use that yet. I probably will add it in the future. So yeah, that's the first trade. Those are the main requirements, I'd say. If you guys just use those that I just stated, you guys will be profitable every week. However, there are some smaller requirements. Like for instance, this week during high volatility, there are some other requirements that have to be met for you to enter a trade. That normally don't happen during low volatility. But if you guys just follow these like 4 rules that I stated, where 1, it has to be more than $5 between the second filled candle top and the third top. If you guys just use that $5 rule, and you guys also use this $3 difference between the first top and the third top, or the second top and the third top, if you guys just use those, you will be profitable every week. But the thing is, for instance, for this week, it would be 6 winning trades and 4 losing trades. So you guys would be around 2 winning trades, which is the average, I would say. I'd say the average for every week is around 2 to 3 trades that you get winning every single week. So after losses, you kind of hit that average, so it would be fine. But there are some rules I add for high volatility, which I'll show you guys later. So here's an example of a trade we wouldn't take, but on the opposite spectrum. We have one long top, and we have one circle bottom that meets the top. We have one circle bottom that meets the top of different, remember, these are different bottoms, and we have another one circle bottom that meets the top. So here the concept is met. However, there's multiple reasons why you do not take this trade. So let's just go through the first one and the one I already showed you guys. So the first reason why is because you guys can see there is way more than a $3 move between the first bottom and the third bottom, and there's a way more than a $3 move between the second bottom and the third bottom. And since the differences between the first bottom, the second bottom, and third bottom are opposites, since we're increasing here but decreasing here, none of the requirements are met, so you do not enter a trade. Remember, only one of those 3 requirements has to be met for us to enter a trade, but here none of them are, so you can't enter a trade off this. And the last rule is, you guys can see we never hit our entry at 4102. Remember, our entry is off the high of the second bottom. So we never hit our entry price at 4102 for a very long time. And the times when you get rid of this entry, like when you just delete your entry, is when we go below $5 of the, when we go below $5 of the third bottom. So you guys can see here at 4090.75. Once we hit this 4085 around this area, we just delete our entry price because it can no longer hit. And another time, there's 2 other times where we delete our entry price, which almost never happens during low volatility. But during high volatility, this can happen without us going all the way down to our $5 move down. So the times when we delete it is, for instance, here, you guys can see it actually happened here. When we have this is the third bottom. So after this, we can see we have 2 tops before hitting our entry. So if we have 2 of the same color, tops or 2 of the same color bottoms, we do not enter a trade, basically. So you can see this is our third bottom. So after this would be right here. We would enter our take profit. We would enter our trade here after our third bottom. So we would place our entry here. So you can see after our third bottom, we have 1, 2. We have 1, 2 tops made. So we have 1, 2 blue circles made. So if there's 2 blue circles made, you get rid of our entry. You just delete our entry. We pretend that the whole setup never happened. Or if we have two bottoms as well, we also get rid of our entry. So if there's two bottoms, you get rid of your entry no matter what. You just get rid of it. Okay. Let me look for some more examples. Here is another time the same thing basically happened. Here's an example of a trade we don't take because of the $5 rule. So you can see we have one circle off here, one circle off here, one circle off here. You can see we made another circle down here, but this doesn't matter. Well, it does matter because that's more than a $5 move. You guys can see here's our third circle. You can see we broke much more than $5 below our third bottom. So we would not enter this trade no matter what. But another reason why we would not enter this trade is because the difference between our second bottom high, so remember our second bottom high is 4091.75, and our third bottom low, which is 4087, is less than $5. So we would not enter this trade because that rule isn't met, and we would also not enter this trade because another rule isn't met. But you guys can see here, we would have hit take profit if we entered this trade somewhere around here. So yeah, we're gonna miss out on some profitable trades. Like, I can understand that if you're angry about that. We're gonna miss out on some profitable trades. But I think the losses we miss is also I think the losses we miss are much more than worth it. So that's why I think the rules are good. But if you guys want to adjust this strategy to make it better, go ahead. I hope you can. This is just what I use. Like, I haven't had like a very long time testing this strategy. So I think you guys can find better strategies out there if you guys search for them. So go ahead. And another thing is sometimes we have exactly a $5 move. Like, here's an example. You can see we met our concept. We had one bottom, two bottom, three bottom circles on only one top. So here we would look for buys. And you can see our high of the second bottom is 4091.75, and our low of the third bottom is 4086.75. So here we have exactly $5. And you guys can see here, we completely we blew out of here. But I personally would not take this trade. Coming back to the risk, sometimes there are losses, sometimes there are wins. Obviously, with this $5 move, it's pretty unpredictable, in my opinion, so I just stay away. But if you want to take these risky trades, go ahead, because you guys can see here, we completely blew out of our take profit. But during one of my live futures trading, I did this with a $3 rule. So the $3 thing, like from our top at 4084.75, it was exactly $3 away. So I decided to take the risk, and it did not end up well because I took a loss. So taking these trades where it's exactly $5 or exactly $3, you guys can do those risks, but it's not going to always end up profitable, and it sometimes messes up the win rate that you're supposed to have because of that. But if you want to, go ahead. I just wouldn't personally take those trades. And now we're going to go on to another example. Let's find our next winning trade, because here's our next winning trade. Okay, so in this example, you guys can see we have one circle bottom, one top, one circle bottom, same top, one circle bottom, same top. So we have three circles bottoms on different places with only one top. So the reason why we would enter this trade, you guys can see top of the second bottom is 4113.75. Bottom of the third bottom is 4108.5. You can see we made $5. We made $5.25, so that's more than $5. So I would gladly enter this trade. And another requirement that is met is that you can see the difference between the second bottom and the third bottom is less than $3. So again, that requirement is met for all three of them. So remember, the three requirements are first bottom to third bottom has to be less than 3, or second bottom to third bottom has to be less than 3, or the difference between the first bottom and the second bottom has to be greater than the difference between the second bottom and the third bottom. You can see that's actually hit as well, I think. 410 to 412.25, that's 2.25. And yeah, that's hit as well. So we have two of our requirements hit. So that just gives even more strength to the strategy. More strength to the trade I'd want to hit. So like if you guys wanted, I would actually increase my contract size than usual because 2 of the requirements are actually hit instead of 1. So this is like a very good trade to enter. So I would probably enter this trade here at 4114.5. The reason why is because remember the high of the second bottom is 4114.25. So we just add 0.25 to that. We enter here and we had our stop loss at 4109, and we have our take profit at 419.5. You can see it moved a lot. You can see it went blah 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 blah. Did a lot of movement, but eventually we hit our take profit, and yeah, that's basically it for this trade. Everything was filled. I don't think there's anything weird about it. And by the way, there is one loss. But there's 6 wins this week. So that's amazing. You know, 5 wins in 1 week is really good. Here's another trade where we're going long again. This was actually during like when the day was over and we switched. So taking this trade is kind of risky, I would say. I personally would not take this trade, but it does follow. If you get rid of the fact that we switched days, switched an hour, you can see 13:59 to 15:04. If you could ignore the fact we switched days, this is a perfect trade to take. So I'm just going to include it in this video as an example because it fits all the requirements. So you guys can see we have 1 bottom and 1 top, 1 bottom, same top, 1 bottom, same top. So we have 3 bottoms, only 1 top. Oh, and I'll tell you guys another thing I personally wouldn't trade, but you guys can if you guys want after this. So here you can see we made the $5 roll, second top high, which is 416, third bottom low, 410.25. So that's 5.75. So 5.75 is greater than 5, so you can enter this. And the next requirement is from the first bottom to the second bottom and the second bottom to the third bottom. You can see the difference between the first bottom and the second bottom is greater than the difference between the second bottom and the third bottom, as well as the fact that the second bottom to the third bottom is less than $3. So you can see both of those rules are met again. So I would again increase my contract size because this is a very good trade to take. And we would enter, remember, off the top of the second bottom, which is 4117 plus 0.25, so 4117.25, and we would hit take profit somewhere around here. And yeah, it's a very good trade to take. We would have made profit on it. And yeah, so the thing that I personally don't take, but you can take if you want to, is sometimes you can see we made a top here, and then we came down, and then we clearly claimed down all the way here. So we could clearly know that it would make a different top if the price did not top again at the same exact level. So if we know it would make a different resistance line, like for instance here, this is one resistance line, the circles. If we know that if price just changed 0.25 or up 0.25, it would make a different resistance level, a different top level, then I would not take this trade even if it hit the same exact level. So you guys can see here, if you didn't look at the tops, if you just looked at the lines, it would look like we didn't make a new level. It would look like we just continued going straight. But if this happens, where price re-hits the same level as before and doesn't make a new line, I would not take a trade if for instance, we would take, if this is the second bottom and we would take a trade off here, I would not take a trade like that. But you guys can. So it doesn't like change anything. Like I would say there's an equal amount of wins and losses. Like you won't lose money by doing this, like taking trades off of here. I just personally wouldn't. I know my explanation is kind of confusing, but I don't really know how to explain it better. It's just if we make one top and then we come back down and then hit the same exact level and continue this line, but we haven't entered a trade yet, but everything else is perfect for a trade later, I just wouldn't take that trade. So basically, all I'm saying is, if something like this happens where we hit the same level twice and the same support resistance line is used, I just wouldn't take a trade if there's 3 bottoms on that top. I just wouldn't. And you can see in this example, that happens after we already entered. So if we were entering here, then we wouldn't know this would happen yet. So this would still be a valid entry. I'm going to go to the next example. I'm going to go to the next example here. So much volatility this week, just crazy. Okay, here. Oh, here's a loss. Okay, this was our one loss of the week. And I'm going to show you guys. You can see we made a one top. We have one top, we have one bottom, two bottom, three bottom. You can see we made our three bottoms and we only have one top off here. And you guys can see here's our second top. So we would increase our price entry would be 4052.25. And our and you can see we clearly made $5 from the second bottom to the third bottom low, which is 4051.5, 4146.5. You can see we made $5. And yeah, and you guys can see from the first bottom to the third bottom is less than $3. So this would be a valid entry. So we would put our entry price at 4052.25. You guys can see we try to call the reversal a bit too early as we came all the way back down. So yeah, this would be a losing trade. If you took this trade, you would lose. And that happens, you know, there's no perfect strategy out there. Nothing's ever going to be 100%, unless you're Nancy Pelosi, but that's a different story. So yeah, you'll never get 100% of your trades to be wins. So yeah, there's a loss this week. Usually I would say low volatility, it's not that many losses, but high volatility, since there's so many trades, there's also a couple losses here and there. But I still like high volatility more, just because even if, so it's a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, right? So if we're taking 6 wins and 1 loss, that's still 5 wins basically. But during low volatility, there's only 2 to 3 trades. So we would still be making 2 to 3 trades more of profit during high volatility than low volatility, even if we're taking a loss. So that's why I don't consider win rate that important, because a win rate with only 5 trades a week and a win rate with 100 trades a week with the same risk reward, I would obviously take the 100 trades more because you would be getting more money out of that. Okay, so we're just going to go on to the next example. So here's a losing trade. This met all our requirements and it ended up still being a loss. But guess what? 30 minutes later, there's another trade, and this time it's a win. So basically, we can ignore this loss after 30 minutes. And this is, again, about trader psychology. After taking a losing trade, you have to be ready to bounce back and take the next trade with full confidence in your strategy. So that's another thing that I should focus on and have to get ready for. So here you guys can see we got a lot of mumbo jumbo. There's a lot of stuff happening here. A lot of choppiness. But in the choppiness, there's a trade. So you can see here's our first bottom, same top, second bottom, same top, third bottom, same top. You can see the difference between the first bottom and the third bottom is less than $3. So that meets that requirement. And you guys can see from the top of the second bottom, which is at 4045.75, to the bottom of the third bottom, which is 4040.25. That's 5.5, which is greater than 5. So that meets all the requirements. And you can see we enter at the high of the second bottom, which is 4046 plus 0.25. So 4046.25. Enter off here, and profits would be anywhere around here. So yeah, that's another profitable trade you guys could take. And we're going on to the next example. I'm going to be looking for any type of losses that I could explain. This it's 2.75. Let me check. Yeah, that's okay, here's another trade we would take. Here's a top trade. So we've been taking a lot of buys, but here's a sell trade example. So here we have a first top, one bottom, second top, same bottom, third top, same bottom. So you guys can see that fits the concept. And we can go from the low of the second bottom, which is 4031, to the high of the to the high of the third top, which is 4037. So you guys can see this is much more than $5. And you guys can see from the first top to the third top is less than $3. So that meets all the requirements. And the price came all the way down. We would enter off the low of the second bottom break. So at 4030.75 to 425.75, you can see we'd hit the profit around here. So again, a profitable trade off of here. And yeah, that's great. I think we only have one more example after this and we're done. Wow. And here it is. Here's our last example for this video. Last trade is first top, second top, third top. Sorry, first bottom, second bottom, third bottom, all of them on the same top level. So very good. And our entry would be our entry would be at the high of the second bottom break, which is 4105.75 to 4106. So you're entering off of here and you're making profit somewhere around here. And you guys can see the requirements. First requirement, from the high of the second bottom to the low of the third bottom, it's more than $5. 4103.75, 4198.75. You can see much more than $5. And the last requirements, we fill one of them. The difference between the first bottom and the second bottom is 5.25, and the difference between the second bottom and the third bottom is 9650. You can see less than $5. So that would fit that requirement, which means the $3 rules do not matter in this case. So we would enter a trade off of here, and yeah, it worked out in our favor. We made some really good profit. Yeah, that's basically, I think that's it. There might be one more example if I missed anything, but yeah, that's what I thought. That's it for the week. So many trades this week and a lot of profit, which is very good. But I know you guys can say like, I planned this beforehand. I didn't pick a random week. I just charted beforehand. I looked for the best week example. But if you guys want, please just go check any week. Go to the playback on NinjaTrader. Check random weeks. Try to see if the setup works. Also, if you guys need help on the strategy, or you guys are like, why did we take a trade? Why don't I take a trade here? Why is for this week? I saw 3 losses and only 1 wins. Please send me all of the losses, and please tell me the week as well, and I will chart it, and I will like email me the week, or put in the comments the week that you're trading, and you're like, there's only this amount of wins, there's only this amount of losses, there's not that many, this doesn't work or anything. Please put that in the comments, and I will go to the week, I will chart it up, and I will post a small video saying this is where you're supposed to take trades. I'll go through the week like live, like I will chart it live and look for the potential trades and whatnot. And if you guys want, you guys can tell me the times, like the time frames where the trades were. So like from 6:30 to 6:35 on Thursday night from March 8th to March 13th. Like you guys can tell me anything like that, and I will go ahead and check them and make sure everything is good. And yeah, that's it for today's video. Any questions, please comment or email, and I am trying to make sure. And yeah, this is just a strategy that I'm going to use throughout my live trading. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next live trading video, which should be Monday. One last thing, if you guys are here, probably none of you guys are here, but if you guys are here, I have not posted the trading live videos for Thursday or Wednesday Both of those days I took no trades. So if you guys want to check, like if you guys want me to drop a video of just looking at a chart, I can, but there's no point. I didn't take a single trade. Nothing happened. This is just a practice account, so it doesn't really matter what I do anyways. So if you guys want, like I can post them, but like I just don't find a reason to, because it's just boring. There's just no reason to. So I'll try to post this video the day after Christmas or something. So yeah, I am doing this video on Christmas, by the way. So Merry Christmas to you guys, and peace.